Hello everybody, welcome back. Chose One here. A little over a month ago, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie dropped, and I liked it a lot. I just want to give my review on it. I'll get and share some Easter eggs that you might have missed. If you guys haven't watched the movie yet, for some reason it's been a while. The movie dropped a while ago. But make sure to go watch it first and then come back to this video, because I'm gonna be going over like the full script and everything that I liked about it, some things that I had problems with, and all the Easter eggs that I found while watching it. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. The movie starts in 1982 at the second Fazbear's location, where we can see the lake and carousel. And if you look really close right here, you can actually see some kids playing a Candy Cat game, My Pop Goes, and a FNaF World game. Then we get our first scene of Charlotte, where a younger version of Vanessa talks to Charlotte and gives her
Like someone who could use Freddy Fast Cola.
a Faz soda? Guys, you know what that means? That means that in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, William Afton is supposed to be Asa Griggs Kringler. So in the real world, Asa Griggs is William Afton, and that Freddy Fazbear is the Coke Bear, and vice versa. Oh my gosh, the Coca-Cola iconic bear mascot was originally meant to be a Project Refresh animatronic for the holiday events, and the Mimic. Anyways, then Charlotte goes on some emo stuff, talking about some
I don't fit in, I'm a misfit, oh. First thing on my mind is to get rich, oh.
While Charlie is sitting at the table, she sees Afton luring a kid into the back, which usually is what he does. This is probably top 3 of my favorite scenes in the movie. This is such an amazing scene, and it's probably one of the creepiest parts in the movie. So she starts telling all the adults, and this part was a little bit of corny dialogue. It was just unrealistic and corny, so because nobody was listening to Charlie when she said him out of the back. While she is carrying the child, you can see a really cool shot of William Afton in the background chasing her with a knife. This is probably my favorite part of the movie, because it was just such a cool shot of William Afton chasing Charlotte with a knife, and they did a really good job with casting Charlotte, because the girl who got casted for Charlotte is exactly how I imagined Charlotte Emily would look. Charlotte finally gets to the main stage where the puppet usually is. Even though she's standing right there with another child in her arms, nobody notices that she's standing right there with an unconscious child. So because of that, the boy wakes up, goes straight to his parents, while we could see Charlie falls down, and you can see that there's 2 knife marks in her back, which was really cool because I wasn't expecting them to show knife marks in a child's back, but they surprised me with that, man. But well, I wasn't happy to see it, like a child get killed. Like, I didn't mean that, like, I was happy to see knife marks in people's backs. I meant because I was like happy to see that they're making more horror. I wasn't trying to say that they're like people getting murdered. I wasn't like trying to. Anyways, once she falls down onto the floor, we could see that the floor folds, and she falls down to where the puppet is. Then we could see Charlotte in the puppet's hands. Then we get the fire intro. Skip to the present day. We start off a year after the first movie, where we could see Vanessa wakes up from a call from Mike, asking if she wants to go out later. Abby goes to the bus to get to school, while Jeremiah arrives to help Mike repaint the house. Jeremiah tells Mike that he thinks Vanessa is crazy. Mike says that he just wants to restart and forget everything that happened in the first movie. We then cut to Abby in school, where we can see a really cool Easter egg of the layout of Afton's house from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location in the background on a chalkboard.
Pretty cool, right?
Then we get to this new guy. He's the actor from Jurassic Park. You know who he is. We've all seen him before, in like 500 movies before. And his character in this movie is so stupid and annoying. I hate him so much. Anyways, he's just being annoying to all the kids and has like this stupid motto from the school, like otters help each otter out or something like that. I don't remember. It was just something really cringy and cheesy. And then one of her friends tells Abby that she should go to repair the animatronics herself. Then we cut to Abby at home while Mike gets ready for his dinner with Vanessa. Mike heads out the door. Abby asks if she can go to see the original Freddy's animatronics, and Mike says no, and says that he'll fix them himself soon. Then we could see Abby watching a paranormal show that we'll get to later. We cut to Mike at the restaurant. Then we see Vanessa. Vanessa's talking about how it's nice to finally just be a normal person, just doing regular human stuff. Which, I get it, because, like, your dad being a serial killer that made 5 spirits alive in animatronic suits is probably not an everyday thing for regular people. Mike says that he doesn't know what to do with the animatronics, and says that he was really just lying to Abby, and finds it weird that she wants to go back there. And Vanessa says that he shouldn't be lying to her and giving her false hope, and just straight up say that he doesn't know how to fix them. Vanessa explains her dreams to Mike, and says that she feels like she'll never escape her father's shadow.
This is the original.
And this kind of confused me for a second, because in the original games, there's Fredbear's, then Freddy's, the one we're in the first game, then the second location, which is the one we're in the second game, then they reopen the first location, and that's where we play it in the first game. So the second game is a prequel to the first game, but the first game's location is still older. So I was a little confused for a second, but I did figure it out pretty quickly. I don't even feel bad for him, because why didn't you get out as soon as you were up? Like, I would have gotten up out of that water as soon as I was able to. And you were just messing around in there, bro. Like, I don't even feel bad for you, man. Michael goes to where Lisa was to find her spazzing on the floor like a drug addict. Then we see that she's now possessed by the puppet, which kind of confused me again, because I was like, wait, how is the puppet possessing humans? The puppet is supposed to be the one being possessed. We then cut to Abby working on her project, but she's failing at it. So she goes and sits on her bed while she talks to the Freddy's animatronics from the first movie through her fast talker. We see Vanessa at the gym where she starts having hallucinations. In her dream, we could see William at the end of a hallway. Vanessa tells William,
Hey! I'm not afraid anymore!
She turns into her younger self, where she runs into one of the rooms while William is looking for her. And right here, we can see she's behind some clothes. And is that Sarky's baby? What? William grabs her out of the closet and William pulls her out of the closet and tells her that she'll always be like him. She turns into her police uniform and shoots William. Then Vanessa wakes up. And we cut to Abby lying in bed. And she wakes up from a message from Chica from her fast talker. She goes to the second location, or in the movies, the original location. The place seems to be empty, but then Toy Chica comes from out of the curtains. Then Abby hugs Toy Chica. A few days later, Vanessa arrives at Mike's house. Mike isn't there, and she goes into the house looking for him. She then sees Abby's fast talker. Then Abby jump scares her from behind. Abby says that the fast talker led her to Chica and the others. Vanessa quickly tells Mike that they need to talk to each other alone. She tells Mike about what Abby said to her. Mike dismisses it, saying that it's probably just her imagination. Mike shows Vanessa the flyer from earlier. He says that he called the number and Charlotte's dad picked up. Charlotte's dad said that Vanessa used to be best friends with Charlotte. Mike asks why she didn't tell him that there are other victims. He thinks that he could fix her and Abby, and then Vanessa gets mad. And it's low-key understandable, because, like, how you gonna say, I could fix you? Later, we see Mike dropping off Abby at the science fair project. Mike says that he has to go somewhere real quick, and that he'll be right back in time for the science fair. Meanwhile, Vanessa visits the original Freddy's location. And I'm just going to start calling it the original Freddy's location, because that's what it is in the movies. So, whenever you hear me say the original Freddy's location, just know that I mean the one we play in the second game. Anyways, we can see that Vanessa is looking for Charlotte.
Charlotte? It's just me, Vanessa.
Are you here to put me back to sleep?
I know what you want.
I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way.
I didn't realize this till editing it, but apparently it was McKenna Grace's idea to have this line in the movie.
And the fact that Emma let me sneak in one of the puppets' voice lines from the game.
I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way.
Ugh, crazy.
Thank you, this move was so peak. We need some more Ultimate Custom Night lines in the movies. We then cut to Abby at the science fair. She arrives and goes to sit up at one of the tables. Mr. Berg interrupts her and says that she can't, and genuinely just starts being the most obnoxious character in the movie. Then he goes and purposely breaks her robot, and at that point I was just like, This guy gotta die. Anyways, Abby gets sad and she goes back to the original Freddy's location and goes to see Chica. Toy Chica offers to be Abby's project, but before they go, Abby has to disable the barrier, that way Toy Chica could leave the pizzeria. So as we see here, Charlotte is possessing the toy animatronics because Abby sits at the computer, while we see Charlotte possessing Lisa's body, threatening to kill Abby if Vanessa doesn't say the code. Obviously, Vanessa gives her the code, and because Charlotte is possessing the animatronics, Vanessa tells Charlotte what the code is. Charlotte is Toy Chica as well, so Toy Chica tells Abby what the code is. Toy Chica and Abby take a cab to school. And wait a minute, it's Corey again! Yeah! Yes! We get back to Mike knocking on the door to Charlie's father's house. Charlie's father says that he's been trying to solve Charlie's murder case. Charlie's father says that the police said that it was just an accident, but he says that he knew it was just a murder and not just an accident. That was a lot of says. Mike asks about one of the pictures of the river ride. Charlotte's father, says that it was only in the original Freddy's location and that it was Charlotte's favorite ride. He calls Abby's school, but the school says that Abby isn't there. Mike prepares to leave, but then Charlotte's father gives Mike a music box, saying to put it next to the puppet's box, saying that it's the only thing that puts her to sleep. Mike rushes to the original Fazbear's location to see what they call in the movie the prototype animatronics, which are really just the withered animatronics from FNaF 2. We can also see the dead body of Lisa. Abby brings Chica to the science fair. Mr. Berg thinks that it's just someone in a suit, so he disqualifies Abby from the science fair competition. Mr. Berg goes down the hallway to go get his keys. While on the way, he looks in one of the windows, then Toy Chica breaks the glass and pulls him through. Mr. Berg, you know what? I'm not even gonna call him Mr. because he doesn't even deserve to be called Mr. Berg tries to escape, but Toy Chica just ends up killing him instead. And in the movie theaters, I was so happy, man. I was cheering. Mike reaches the original Freddy's location to see Vanessa tied up. Vanessa tells Mike that Abby left with Toy Chica and Charlotte is controlling them. She tells Mike that the only way to stop it is to get to the control room via the basement. She says that after Charlotte died, her soul was stuck in the room where the puppet is, and the only thing keeping her in there was the music box, but Lisa turned it off and now Charlotte is free. Mike slips and falls into the water, and unlike the other guy, he actually gets out right when he can and escapes from Balloon Boy. Vanessa reveals that some of the old animatronics are now targeting parents who ignored Charlie the day that she died. He tells Vanessa to go find Charlotte and get her away from Abby, and he'll take care of everything else. Then we see our first voice lines from Toy Freddy at the Faz Festival. First voice lines from Faz Festive Freddy Fedibles. A bunch of people just assume he's in a really nice suit, but obviously they don't know that he's an actual animatronic. Then we get a really cool Easter egg of Shadow Bonnie, where we could see him when Mike flashes the light at the hallway, which I thought was a pretty cool detail that this is actually the actual model from the original game. That was pretty cool that they used the actual model. Meanwhile, at the science fair, Toy Chica can be seen having a security breach, activating the prototypes. Mike finds Toy Freddy's location and tells Vanessa. Then we could hear noises coming from the hallway. We then see Toy Freddy stopping one of the garage doors from closing so he could break in. Then back to Mike, we hear more noises from the hallway where he looks to his left and sees the Freddy mask. Then we cut to a little girl's room where she looks out her window and you could see a shot of Toy Bonnie. Back to Vanessa driving, where we get one of the best scenes from the movie, where Mangle attacks Vanessa while she's driving. They did such a good job with shooting this. The animatronic they made for Mangle looks really amazing, and it was just like an overall beautiful scene. Then we see an old couple getting scared because of Toy Freddy breaking into their house. But suddenly, at a perfect time, Vanessa hits the brakes, causing Mangle to crash through the old couple's window, hitting Toy Freddy and knocking both of the animatronics out. We see Mike at the computer while we see a shot of Freddy reaching out just like he does in the game, which I personally was so excited when I saw this. This was one of my favorite Easter eggs in the movie. Mike grabs the mask and puts it on, and we see a shot of Freddy scanning the mask, trying to figure out if he's an animatronic or not. He of course verifies as an animatronic. Then Freddy goes and minds his own business. We get back to Toy Bonnie, where he's sitting on the bed talking to the little girl. The little girl's mom tells the girl to go to bed, and Toy Bonnie has a fire dialogue. "I'm gonna go see if your mom will let us stay up." Peak dialogue. W MatPat. I do wish we got like a little post-credit scene of MatPat saying,
"Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory."
I didn't want him saying that in the actual movie, but you know, seeing Toy Bonnie say that in like a post-credit scene would be fine, but I guess not. We all hate Balloon Boy. Then because Balloon Boy has lights on his eyes, once his head rolls out, we could see that more wizards are coming after Mike, where we have just like a full Five Nights at Freddy's 2 gameplay scene, which was really cool. Well, we could see Bonnie is coming through the vent. Mike quickly closes the vent, and I'm gonna be honest, this was all we get. This is all we get for Withered Bonnie, and I was sitting there sad after the movie because Withered Bonnie's my favorite FNaF 2 animatronic. I love the Wizards, and they only got like a minute of screen time, and I was sad. We get another scene of Toy Bonnie trying to kill the child's mom, while the child begs Toy Bonnie not to. We cut back to Freddy's, where Mike gets attacked by Withered Chica, and he puts on the Freddy mask. He then turns to Withered Foxy, but we could see he tried to use the mask on Withered Foxy, but he finds out that doesn't work on Withered Foxy, just like in the FNaF 2 game. Mike eventually finds out how to disable all the animatronics. Then we cut back to Toy Bonnie telling the girl, "Parents." While Toy Bonnie is telling the child that her parents are evil, we then cut back to Mike, where Withered Foxy lunges right at him, but right before Mike cuts out all the power to the animatronics just in time. Mike then tells Vanessa that he disabled all the animatronics, but then he sees that there's one more animatronic at his house. Toy Chica lays Abby down on her bed, but the signal reroutes, reactivating all the toy animatronics, and I'm pretty sure it's just the toy animatronics because we don't get any more scenes with the Wither animatronics. Vanessa tells Mike that the animatronics reactivated and that they're gonna need more help. Mike goes to the Freddy's location from the first movie and shouts for help from the animatronics, but there's no sign of them. Vanessa's car breaks down, well, luckily Jeremiah picks her up. Vanessa arrives at the house where she hears Abby's fast talker. She moves towards it, but once she gets too close to it, we could see possessed Abby arise from under her bed. Vanessa runs away from possessed Abby, but eventually possessed Abby knocks Vanessa down. But right before possessed Abby kills Vanessa, Mike shows up with the music box and starts playing it, which right here, I'm not sure if it's Ballora or not, but I don't think it is. My first thought when I saw the movie was I couldn't make out if the ballerina was Ballora or not, but I thought that it would be pretty cool if they did make it Ballora. But I watched it back on a YouTube video and it doesn't look like it. Mike plays the music box, causing Charlotte to leave Abby's body, but for some reason Abby's still alive, which I thought was pretty weird because when Charlotte left Lisa was found dead. But I guess probably because Charlotte was with Lisa longer than she was with Abby, so it probably just killed her because she was with Lisa for couple of days. Mike, Vanessa, and Abby then attempt to leave, but the toy animatronics surround them. While the toy animatronics surround Mike, Vanessa, and Abby, Michael arrives, revealing that he is Vanessa's brother, Michael Afton, which I'll get back to my thoughts on this after the recap. Michael then attempts to bring Vanessa on his side, saying that they should rebuild their father's legacy. Vanessa says no, and that she's found a family with Mike and Abby. Then we get the Avengers Endgame scene, where the animatronics from the first movie pull up and destroy the toy animatronics. The original animatronics from the first movie then attack the toy animatronics, which I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made me laugh at first, but it was still absolute cinema. After the animatronics from the first movie destroy the toy animatronics, they dysfunction because they still have their boundary on. But then we get one of my favorite scenes from the movie, and I knew exactly what this was setting up.
I won't be able to hold him anymore. He'll get out eventually, and I'll be stronger than before.
This was the perfect setup for the third movie. I absolutely love that they put this in. Mike and Abby leave, and Vanessa tries to leave with them, but Mike says that he doesn't want her to be with them because he can't trust her anymore. Vanessa stands there in front of the house while Jeremiah drives Mike and Abby away. Then we see the puppet possessed Vanessa, which I'll say my own theory on this after the recap, because I still have to do the post-credit scene. Then we get the amazing post-credit scene where we could see 3 guys breaking into Freddy's. Well, not really breaking in, it's abandoned, but we could see them breaking into the Freddy's location from the first movie. It's unsure what time this takes place in, because in the third game, it takes place in 30 years after the original game, but my guess is it probably doesn't take 30 years after the second movie. That would be the most logical thing. But then we get probably the best line in the whole movie.
I think I found a real one.
Yes! He said it! He said the thing! He said the thing! Mom, he said. Then they throw a tarp over Springtrap. While they go into another room, we could see his eyes light up. I was so hyped. Because the Springtrap looks perfect. But that's not all, because we see Mike gets a message that reveals that Charlotte's father is Henry, just like in the games and the books.
Leaving dead space. 3, 2, 1. This message is intended as a warning. Mike, I wish we'd had more time after our conversation about Charlotte, but I'm sending you this message now in case I can't deliver it in person. There are things you need to be aware of. I was William Afton's business partner for many years. And although the equipment I have left over from that time is outdated, I can still track some of the animatronics. Mike, the marionette... Mike, get out as fast as you can. She's coming for you.
Which we kind of already suspect. But, you know, like... we have a security breach character helping Michael Schmidt, which is Michael Afton's fake name. But there's also Michael Afton. So you don't know what these movies, they're not that similar to the games. So final thoughts on the movie. I'm gonna give a 10 out of 10 experience. Script, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. We could improve some of the lines. I think that's what they need to improve with the third movie. And if we could keep the horror that we have in this movie and up the horror a little bit, actually, and give us a better script, give us better dialogue, especially, and I think that we'll have an amazing movie. My biggest complaint is, of course, some of the dialogue, but the withered animatronics getting like a minute and a half of screen time altogether, because they're my favorites. Like they have such cool designs, and it was sad to see that they just didn't get much. But other than that, I really liked it. I think they definitely improved the horror, because a couple of the jump scares did get me this time. Because initially watching the first movie, I didn't get jump scared by any of the... I didn't like jump by any of the jump scares or anything. I didn't really get scared by it much. But there's a couple of jump scares in this one that I'll admit I did get like a little jump by. But yeah, they did up the horror like they said they would. My thoughts on Michael Afton being a villain is... actually, it's grown on me, honestly, and I don't have that big of a deal with it, and it's not terrible. I don't hate it, and I actually kind of like it. The cameos were really, really cool. Obviously, we got the Corey Kenshin cameo, my goat, Doug cameo. We got the Shadow Bonnie cameo. I really like that one. And my favorite is probably Circus Baby, because I was not expecting to see Circus Baby in the FNaF 2 movie, and they built a whole animatronic for her. Like, they didn't just CGI it, they built a whole animatronic for Circus Baby just for her to be a little cameo, which that means that she's probably going to have a role in one of the upcoming movies, more than likely. And I doubt they're going to redo her costume, because it looks amazing. It looks like they just like snatched it out of the screen from Sister Location. I don't know how they made it so well, but they're amazing at doing these costumes. And my theory is that, you ready? We're going full game theory mode on this. I'm just kidding. I go in deep like Matt Pat used to. Dude, I'm watching some theories from Matt Pat from back in the day. My man used to go like crazy in detail.
2119, which seems like it's giving us a code to a 6-letter name. But now, what do you do with those numbers? Well, one page in the book contains a giant grid that encourages readers to draw in 8 bits. But if you look closely at the grid's axes are actually numbered, and there are tiny letters in the grid's first few boxes. It seemed to me like this grid was setting up an alphanumeric code where the numbers each get represented by a different letter. Putting 7, 12, 6, 9, 21, and 19 into that, you get Gilpheus. It's clearly not Golden Freddy's real name. Basically, you need a giant alphabet grid and a keyword. So, say I want to encode the word crying child, that's called my plain text, and I want my keyword to be Mike. What I would do is, in my alphabet grid, go over to my first letter, the C in crying, and then go down to the row M, the first letter in my keyword Mike. That gives me the letter O. Then to decode, you just reverse the process. And that's what I tried, over and over again, on and off again for months, and still nothing. Using those real values of 7, 12, 6, 9, 21, and 19, I tried everything. Different keywords like Mike, Chica, Friday, since it's on the magazine that Foxy's reading, Bonnie, Foxy. Doing the process forwards and backwards, trying to shift everything by 3, both before and after the encoding and decoding process, since that's the random number on the chalkboard that has no explanation. I even started reversing the codes I was working with, since the number 3 on the chalkboard could potentially relate to page 3 of the survival guide, which specifically says take a moment for self-reflection. So that's what I did. I reflected the numbers before coding, after coding, reversing the alphabet, still nothing.
Alright, so I think that Vanessa becoming possessed by Puppet, she will turn into Vanny. Because I think, just like we see in Help Wanted and Security Breach, Vanessa is possessed by Glitch Trap, which I think that it will have the same effect on Vanessa from the puppet, and she will turn into Vanny. That is my theory. Maybe, I don't think so, because Glitch Trap isn't a physical being, but maybe Michael Afton will be Glitch Trap and Vanessa will be Vanny, which if they did that, that'd be pretty cool. I would like that a lot. Then I think ultimately Corey Kenshin should slap the crap out of Springtrap. I do think Vanessa will end up being Vanny in the next movie, because that just makes the most sense to me. I'm not sure, because I do think they're gonna go past the 3rd movie. I do think they're gonna make more, and if they are, I'm not sure how they would make I'm not sure how they'd make a movie for just the 4th game. Like, so what I'd say do is, if you are gonna have a movie for each game, mix the 4th game in with the 3rd movie, or the 3rd movie, or the 4th game with the 5th movie, sister location. One of those, because I'm not sure you could do a whole movie with FNaF 4, because that's not a lot. Like, you're just gonna have him have a dream throughout the whole movie, because that doesn't seem like a interesting plot. But even if we do end up stopping at 3, I would like for them to just at least show a little bit of the Nightmare animatronics, because I really want to see them in cinema. I really want to have at least just like give us a 10-15 minute scene with the Nightmare animatronics, at least, if you guys aren't going to make a movie for each game. Just have a Nightmare scene with Mike or Vanessa, and Mike mostly, preferably Mike, because it would just be a better scene with Mike having the dreams, because we already have scenes with Vanessa. Anyways, I think seeing the Nightmare animatronics in the movies would be just so peak. It does seem like maybe they will only have 3 movies, because the fans are, including myself, are starting to see a lot of parallels between the Five Nights at Freddy's book trilogy and the movies. And if you know the book trilogy, there's only a trilogy, hence trilogy. But you could mix in, like, at night in the third movie, he has dreams somehow, and they're the Freddy animatronics, the nightmare animatronics. Then he wakes up and goes and does his night shift at Fazmare Frights or something like that. I think would just be a good idea. And then eventually we'll see Circus Baby again. I'm almost positive, because that animatronic looks amazing. So all the actors did really good. It was pretty good acting. The acting was good. All I want is more screen time for all the animatronics in the next movie as we can get, and some better dialogue. We'll work on some better dialogue. It wasn't terrible, and I didn't hate it, but it was a little corny at some. A couple of lines were a little cringy, but I said everything that I want to say about the movie, and I've been recording for a while now, and yeah, I need to hurry up and edit this because I want this out by Saturday, and it is Friday, and I still haven't edited any of it. Wish me luck. Alright, thank you guys for all of you guys have done. Thank you guys for the views. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, whatever you do. I hate comments. Thank you. You're making more comments for me. Disliking, thank you. You're bringing more attraction to my videos. I don't care what you do, but if you're interacting, if you're seeing this video, then thank you. Next video will be Assassin's Creed Part 2. Make sure, if you want to see me play that, make sure to tune in for that. That will be coming out soon. And I hope you guys have a great week. Hope you guys have a great life. Hope you guys have a smooth life. And I just want to have one more announcement that February 14th, I will be streaming the first chapter of Poppy Playtime. February 15th, I'll be streaming the second chapter of Poppy Playtime. February 16th, I will be streaming the third Poppy Playtime chapter. And February 17th, I'll be streaming the fourth. And then, hopefully the 18th, we will get that video, that chapter 5 Poppy Playtime chapter 5 video out, because I'm gonna play that straight at midnight. All right, I'll be grinding. I will be grinding. No, seriously, I'm gonna play that as soon as it comes out, and I will try to get that video out as soon as possible because I'm excited. So February 18th, we locking in, alright? We locking in. But thank you guys all for watching. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your life. Thank you for watching. I've yapped my mouth off way too long now. Peace.
Now I need a break. Try to run away, try to get away, so I could be safe.